It was a cold December morning when John, a successful businessman in his mid-40s, received a call that would change his life. The voice on the other end was calm but urgent.
"Mr. Parker, this is Dr. Stevens' office from Oakwood Hospice. Your father's condition has worsened. It's time."
John felt a lump form in his throat. His father, Robert Parker, had been battling cancer for years. The two had been estranged for over a decade, their last conversation ending in a bitter argument that neither cared to revisit.
"Thank you, Doctor. I'll be there as soon as I can."
As he hung up, memories of his father flooded his mind. Robert had been a strict but loving father, always pushing John to be the best version of himself. Their rift began when John decided to pursue business instead of joining the family farm. Robert had seen it as a betrayal, and neither had tried to mend the broken relationship. John's wife, Laura, noticed his distress.
"You need to go. It's time to make peace."
John nodded, his eyes reflecting a mixture of determination and regret. He packed a small bag and began the long drive back to his childhood home. The house stood as a testament to Robert's hard work and education. The farm, once bustling with activity, now seemed eerily quiet. John took a deep breath and knocked on the door. A nurse opened it and led him to his father's room. Robert lay in bed, looking frail and tired. His eyes, once full of life, now seemed distant. When he saw John, a flicker of recognition passed through them.
"Hi, Dad, how are you feeling? I'm glad you came. I'm sorry, Dad, for everything. We've both made mistakes, son. But we can't change the past. We can only make the most of the time we have left." "I should have been here. I should have." "You were following your dreams, and I was too stubborn to see that. I'm proud of you, John. I always have been."
The two men sat in silence for a while, the weight of unspoken words hanging in the air. Finally, John spoke.
"Dad, do you remember the time we built the treehouse together?"
"How could I forget? You were so excited, and I was so worried you'd hurt yourself. You taught me so much that summer. Not just about building, but about life." "And you've taught me too, John. You've shown me that it's okay to chase your dreams, even if it means taking a different path."
Over the next few days, John and Robert reminisced about the past, sharing stories and laughter. The walls that had stood between them for so long began to crumble. John helped care for his father, feeding him, and reading to him from his favorite books. One evening, as the sun set over the farm, Robert asked John to take him outside. They sat on the porch, the cool breeze carrying the scent of pine and earth.
"John, there's something I need to tell you. I've left the farm to you. But, Dad, I don't know the first thing about running a farm. You will learn. And you'll have help. The community here is strong, just like the roots of these old trees. They'll support you. Thank you, Dad. I'll do my best to honor this place in your memory."
John looked out over the fields, the place where he had spent his childhood. It felt like a second chance, an opportunity to reconnect not only with the land, but with his father's legacy.
"I know you will, son."
In the days that followed, Robert's condition worsened, and John stayed by his side, offering comfort and love. One morning, as the first light of dawn filtered through the window, Robert took his last breath. John held his father's hand, tears streaming down his face. "Goodbye, Dad," he whispered. "I love you." After the funeral, John stood in front of the house, feeling the weight of responsibility and loss.
"You're not alone, John. We'll make this work together."
John looked out at the farm, seeing it not just as land, but as a symbol of reconciliation and hope. Over the following months, John immersed himself in learning about farming, guided by the memories of his father and the support of the local community. He found joy in the simple, honest work and felt a deep connection to the land. One evening, as he walked through the fields, he felt a sense of peace. He knew his father was with him, watching over him and the farm. John had come home, not just to a place, but to a legacy of love and perseverance. Years later, John stood on the porch, watching his own son, Michael, play in the yard. The treehouse he and Robert had built still stood, a reminder of the past and a beacon for the future.
Dad, can we build something together? Of course, son. What do you have in mind?
As they set to work, John felt his father's presence beside him, guiding his hands and his heart. The rift that once separated them had healed, replaced by a bond that would endure through generations. And so, the story of father and son continued, rooted in love, forgiveness, and the enduring strength of family.